And the Hawkeyes ready to kick it away first. He'll start the return inside his 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Got it out of bounds at the 32 after a good return. The Ducks offense will have the opening possession of the game. And here comes Dylan Raiola. Led his team to a win, throwing 4 touchdown passes the last time out.
And he has been really, really good to start this season. Last week, excellent. But you do got that one loss on the ledger. But they've trusted him. They've put it in his hands. I think you want to see the consistency from his offense, Jesse, as it continues to grow, continues to get better throughout the season. But I've seen some great flashes.
Yeah, the amazing thing is when we talk to people on the inside of the program, they'll tell you if he can keep being consistent, play the way he did last week, they think they can go to the college football playoff. You mentioned the loss they have early in the year. They can't afford another one here in the middle of the season. He's got to play great today. But very quietly, they believe this could be a special year if this guy plays well.
I mean, you don't have to be a great play caller to give that guy the football, right? Like, feature him. The offense goes through him. You've got to love this running back. He just finds a way to make those chunk plays like he just did, setting the tone. And, Palmer, sometimes the defense, they need to see you for a second so they realize how fast, how powerful, how good you are.
Yeah, and the defense said all the right things leading up to this game. We're focused on stopping the run. We want to be the more physical team. We're going to make them one-dimensional. Well, you just got to run down your throat early. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So for this defense now it's time to show up. You got to blow up now and start doing something.
The Ducks will have it 1st and 10. Going to audible here. Let's see what they do. Throwing Raiola. Turns it upfield. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the 1st down.
And he'll step into the end zone.
That coach is always talking about starting fast and taking that opening drive and really setting the tone for the football game, and that is exactly what they did. And they finish it with a good brand of physicality, running the football, ending the drive, and getting off to the 6-0 start.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And he got into the house from the 6 to finish it. He'll bring it out. It's Jones. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Hawkeyes offense gets to come out for its first possession of the game. Mari Moulton turned out more than 150 yards and found pay dirt a couple of times in their victory last game.
I got to tell you, I've been really impressed watching this team, specifically the offense now during this win streak. And the biggest thing has been the running back and their ability toting the football. Physical, they're able to stay ahead of the sticks. Defenses just get worn down because of this guy and his physical style running the football. And I expect to see a little bit of...
He can't go down the press. The ball's on the ground. He is in. Takes the ball. Touchdown, Oregon.
That defense is always trying to force turnovers to get the ball back to their offense and make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
He did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. Fielded in the end zone, it's Jones. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Iowa has him back on offense, hoping to ride the wave to the end zone. Well, it's a fumble. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
It's raining in this game. It's making the football slick and slippery. You know ball security
formation gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Out wide right, it's Johnson. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots and zones. You got to get him involved.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. That's a clock. Touchdown, Ducks! A great catch and run for 6. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Jones. They'll corral him and get him down at the 17-yard line on the return. Iowa has the ball back on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick.
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
Talking to the coaches before the game, they wanted to start fast. This offense, man, not only have you not put anything together, the defense hasn't either. This game has gotten away from them early. They need to do a better job of protecting their quarterback.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. On target over the middle. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. The Hawkeyes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. The RPO, fire complete to the left. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast, and they force a negative play.
Second down to the air. Here comes the heat. They've got him. Great pressure by this defense.
Well, that's their 3rd sack of the game, and we knew statistically coming into this game, this is one of the top 25 units in the nation getting after the quarterback. I just love how they let it go out front. And they are giving this offensive line headaches and nightmares up to this point.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. And the Hawkeyes send out the punt unit. On the return. Good coverage on that one, and they get him almost immediately. This drive will start at their own 27-yard line. They'll run it. And they'll get enough for the first down, and that's how things will come to a close here in the first quarter. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. So after the break, they'll go back to work. They're going to ride this running back. He's past the marker. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Offside, defense.
This offense plenty happy enough with the result of that play, so they just let the official put that flag back in his pocket and decline the penalty. Quarterback in a trying to get the edge. It's Rodgers. Breaks into the open. He get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Keeps it moving. It's Griffin. 9-yard pickup on the play. It's now 2nd and 1. All right, guys, let's think big picture for Oregon. This is exactly how you want to start conference play. Early in the race for sure, but precisely the type of foundation you need to set.
And this is really the meat on the bone in the schedule, right? A lot of teams have out-of-conference games early in the season, but...
Makes a grab and room to run. They're able to keep him out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2 after the big play in the passing game.
This offense can get a lot of yards, and it doesn't take a lot of plays. You've seen that here. They have speed, speed, and speed. It kills you. If guys get a little bit of space, they just gobble up yards. They've had the defense completely on their heels. Now they're all the way backed up against their own goal line.
And you're not going to see many of those. That's a gift for this defense. You don't see this guy miss very often, especially to put 6 on the board. That was a big missed opportunity for this quarterback and this offense.
They're all over him. And he's sacked. Great work there by this defense.
Pass. Now we're to 3rd and goal. You'd like to see this part of the field where you can exert some of that physicality, run the football. I know you're doing it, and I know the field shrinks, but I'm going to be tougher than you, more physical than you, and I'm going to run the football down your throat.
Now on 3rd and goal, and that earlier sack left him with more ground to cover. They're in the gun. Here's Dylan Raiola. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks. A great catch in the end zone.
And this crowd was already jacked up. They were already excited. They were already making a difference in this football game, and the offense continues to pile on and give them something to cheer about. 27-0 here in the first half. This has been all home team.
What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Holly Rowe has an update.
Checking in from the Hawkeyes sideline. I can see a lot of conversations happening between the offensive line and the running back. They just haven't been able to get the ground game going. They're talking about he has got to be more patient, and they have got to give more of a push up front. The crowd is making it hard, though. I can tell you it is hard to hear as they try to struggle and communicate. We'll see if they're able to come together against this very hostile crowd. Back to you.
Thanks, Holly. Quick give. It's Moulton. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. And the defense jumps on it. They get that turnover.
Defensive coordinators always preach swatting and batting at the football and trying to punch it out, trying to dislodge the ball from the ball carrier. Boy, they did it right there.
Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. On the play fake, Dylan Raiola. Fires on the move. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. Let's take just a second and talk about Oregon. They got a huge boost to their defensive front in recruiting last week. 5-star backer, verbal commitment, some future help in the form of this guy, David.
Baller. And these are the guys that they play running back and all over the field in high school because they're so big and strong and athletic. And it's a guy that you count on. They can come in right now and play day one with that size-speed combination.
Well, they have a massive lead, and we're only in the 2nd quarter, but they're not calling the dogs off. They are staying aggressive, and they are taking shots. Another hook up there for this offense. Everything that they are dialing up is working to perfection. They're looking to add already their blowout lead.
In the red area, it's Griffin. Touchdown, Oregon! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Let's go down to the sideline and holler.
Checking in from the Iowa sideline, there is a lot of conversation happening about better communication turnovers early in this game. The defense is feeding off it, the crowd is feeding off it, and they've got their backs against the wall in a hostile environment. They've got to clean it up here to keep alive in this game. Guys, back to you.
Appreciate that, Holly. And back to the air on second down. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Let's see what call they have on third and long from the 28. They want to throw it. They'll run the screen. There he goes. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 48.
You never want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying, they absolutely had to have that play for them to stay in this football game. And sometimes it just takes one great throw and one great catch.
He's going to fire deep. Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive. Taking it the other way. He's at the 50. And he returned that into reverse skate in a hurry and takes it to the 46.
Well, obviously it's raining here in this game, and the ball's slippery. I don't know if that slipped out of the QB's hands a little bit, but it certainly wasn't an accurate throw, and as a result, it ends up in an interception.
They're changing things up, trying to get everyone set. Raiola throws to the wideout. Left side, it's Moore. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down. New set of downs after the completion. Inside the 25, they'll snap it from the 24. First down. Looking to throw, it's Raiola. Release to the back. Right side, it's Rodgers. And they finally get him stopped, but it's a big throw and catch, and he's down at the 5. This offense has put on a display in the first half, and they have a chance to tack another one on before the break. Lets it fly. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's second down.
Well, I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
Again, it's Raiola. Looking for the score. Fires into the end zone, incomplete.
Man, really good job on this defense, staying positive. They gave up a bunch of yards, got down towards the shadow of their own goal line. 2 straight passes, 2 incompletions, trying to just get off the field here with only giving up 3 points.
Raiola from the gun on third down. Touchdown, Ducks! Fit it in the window for the score. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they pick up the extra point. Kicker knocked it right down the middle. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Let's go to the sideline in Holly Rowe.
Checking in from the Hawkeyes sideline, I can tell you this crowd has played a factor early in this game. On the road, in a hostile environment, they have not been able to get going in this game. They have failed to score, not productive on their early drives, and they are talking about how the crowd noise is impacting them. I see them talk to each other, trying to tighten things up with the line of scrimmage. This is a factor. This crowd is making a big difference here so far. Back to you.
Okay, Holly. The Hawkeyes racing to the line in the hurry up. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Turns it loose. He's got it. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line. Set up for the first down play, and they're going to call a timeout and talk it over instead. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. On the stop. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on second down.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to run another play, ready to make this defense work.
Love the physicality of the secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Can't hang on after the hit, and it'll be 4th down. And the Hawkeyes decide to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And he will boom that punt out of bounds. No chance for a return. Let's see where the officials spot it. With an update on that, let's check in with Holly.
Guys, down on the home team sideline, guys, they have a big lead right now, and they were expected to be here. One of the top teams in the country. They have performed that way here today. Even though some of the players are starting to celebrate just a little bit, coaches keep saying, we have more work to do. If they really want to continue to be one of the best teams in the country, they have to keep their foot on the gas to end this game. Reese?
Appreciate that, Holly. Fires downfield. Out wide left, it's there. They'll get the 1st down. It's spotted on the 49. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Play action, Dylan Raiola. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. He picks up the fumble, but they'll blow it dead right there. And remember, at this stage of the game, the only person who can advance a fumble for the offense is the fumbler. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Gents, the cream is rising to the top here 7 weeks in. Let's take a look at today's action. We start with Stanford taking on the number 10 team, the Clemson Tigers. And it's Clemson on the losing end right now of a tight one. This legit playoff contender kind of stumbled out of the gates. And while there is time to turn things around, they had better start soon. Here now, some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now. Now back to your game inside Autzen Stadium in Eugene. It's hardly a secret what this team wants to do. They want to feed the beast, let him run it, and control the line of scrimmage. Ground and pound, and continue to add to this lead in the 2nd half. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Autzen Stadium.
He'll return it. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. We check in with Holly Rowe.
I caught up with the Hawkeyes head coach coming out of the locker room. They have got to consider what they should do here in the 2nd half. Their young quarterback getting the first start of his career.
Ball is loose. Oh, the offense lucky to fall on that loose football.
That is a nice break for the offense.
And it looks as if they buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Long way to go on 2nd down. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Took a shot as he threw.
And guys, I just don't know what to say about this offense. Like they take a deep shot, they try it short, they really just struggled to try to find any way to move this football. They've dug themselves a hole, and now they've got to find some answers. Maybe find your guys, your go-to guys. Players, not plays. Maybe that's what they need to get something going right now.
Oh, it's picked off. Oh, that's not the way to start a drive. Got room on the return.
Well, what a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
Here comes the Duck offense to get the drive started. Here's Raiola to throw. And he avoids the sack.
That's what this defense has to do, guys. They've got to knock this quarterback down to the ground. He's already thrown a couple of TDs. The only way you're going to stop that is with good quarterback pressure.
Going to work on second down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. This one's complete. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down. They can't pick up the first without scoring. They're in the gun. Here's Dylan Raiola. Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on third down. The Ducks will try to move the sticks on fourth down. Fourth down, Raiola. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a first down. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Ducks. A quick strike, just as we expected.
And quick strikes are easy when you got such a great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
And he's coming out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Straight ahead, it's Lindsey. Fights off a defender. And he's knocked down in the backfield, but man, how many tackles did he escape before he was finally brought down?
Man, the momentum is squarely on their side right now. It's starting to feel like they're running away with this one. They scored a touchdown their last time out. Now on this drive here in the third quarter, the defense makes a massive play against the run, creating a negative play. They've got the opponent going backwards.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
The Hawkeyes will punt this one away.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. Fourth down, baby.
I think that's why this punt return, they love blocking for this guy because they know with his speed, he can change the game. He can put 6 on the board in a heartbeat. You just get one block. You give this guy one little crease, man, he could be gone.
Gets his first one of the day off. He was called on 4 times in last week's win. And that ball will sail into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Iowa offense ready to go to work. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. Nice move to keep running. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. They give it back to him. Defense fills those gaps. He's got 1 to the 28.
Well, this running back has been the only guy obviously who's touched the ball these first 2 plays. He's looked pretty good. I think it's safe to say everybody in the stadium here on third down expecting him to get the ball again.
And they get to him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 2. And the Hawkeyes line up to punt it away. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Pulls it in at the 25. They drag him down, and good coverage that time by the special team. Holly, what update do you have on that?
Hey, guys, checking in from the home team side. Guys, they have a big lead right now, and they were expected to be here. One of the top teams in the country. They have performed that way here today. Even though some of the players are starting to celebrate just a little bit, coaches keep saying, we have more work to do. If they really want to continue to be one of the best teams in the country, they have to keep their foot on the gas to end this game. Back to you.
Thanks, Holly. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. Defense better dig in for the run. Heavy formation is there. They'll ride the hot hand. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44. 6-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 4. Well, looking for room. It's Griffin. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a... at the 44.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to believe the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
And it's going to be interesting to watch this defense, man, because obviously when you're trailing, and offenses can sometimes get conservative. That's 2 runs back-to-back. Do they get more aggressive and try to bring more guys near the line of scrimmage, not let them waste time, and try to get their offense the football back?
And running really has been the key on this drive, guys. Lots of success right there. They generate another explosive play. Their success running the ball, big reason why they've been able to put up a lot of points and have a really nice lead in this one. And now back in the red zone again, they're looking to add to that.
Doing damage on the ground as he runs it down to the 11-yard line. Midway point in the season, and games like this one can have a big impact on the rankings from week to week as we see upsets happen and favorites continuing to flex muscle. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth-quarter comeback. So the final period starts with a second-down play. He's going to change things up against this defensive look. Could be an alley.
Yeah, and if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
A little too much adrenaline on that one as it goes through the end zone for a touchback. The Hawkeyes offense heads out to start this drive. When the defense got the stop, they could have used a few more of those earlier. Still a big deficit here late. Runs from the tackle. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Defensively, with all the space now in spread football, there's so many opportunities where it's one-on-one tackling, and it's really hard to do. It's hard to get guys to the ground that are so talented. That's why defenses have to swarm to the football, get multiple.
Picked off. What a play to set him up. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's pass, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback. And DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats and get the INT. Nice job by the...
Takes it the other way. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
What a big-time run for this offense. A physical run, get down, almost scoring the touchdown.
Yeah, considering how well they're running it right now, why wouldn't you just hand it off to this guy right here again?
That is way more distance than he anticipated. Might have used the wrong plug. It's a touchback. Iowa has it back on offense, hoping to ride the wave to the end zone. When the defense got the stop, they could have used a few more of those earlier. Still a big deficit here late. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
It's broken up. They took a shot, and he was equal to the challenge to knock it away. 3rd and long right here. Wide receiver going in motion. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Under pressure. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30. The Hawkeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. Couldn't find a lane. A pickup of 1 to the 31.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You've got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes in the 22.
You got to give this defense tons of credit. They came in here with an outstanding game plan. They were able to execute. They have not allowed a point, and still in the fourth quarter, they are bringing it, and they get another sack.
Looking for room. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. The Oregon offense is on the field to get this drive going. So your defense has done yeoman's work. The idea, don't make any mistakes here. Take care of the ball and preserve this shutout. They stop him behind the line of scrimmage. He ran through one guy, but not through the rest.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. We're interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Left side, it's Johnson. Oh, he's got some space. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
There used to be a time in college football where tight ends were just possession receivers. You throw it to them and they'd go down right away. Not this guy. That was a short throw. And then he shows you the athleticism.
Got some movement into the goal line.
Yeah, and that's a great job by this offense. And I'll tell you what, fourth quarter, you have the lead. That's exactly what you want to do. Lean on these guys, run the football, eat that clock.
Way too much juice on that one as it sails out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. Iowa has the ball back on offense. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
Picks up just a few before he's brought down. Not really willing to take a risk there on 3rd and long. And the Hawkeyes will punt it away on 4th down. Cradles it at the 35. Well, they finally stop him, but he found some running room on that return and really helps out his offense to start this drive. Looking for a crease. It's Rodgers. Got the first down. He's stopped, and he's got enough to move the chain. The timeout stops the clock with 10 seconds to play. Offense has it at the 28 on 1st down. Quarterback signaling to his guys. Ready, go! Spins away from the defender. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19. They get the timeout, and the clock reads 3 seconds. And after this play, the cake will be baked. Ready. Go. Going to the run, it's Rodgers. And that will be the final play as the clock strikes 0 here. They get the W, and with that being win number 6, looks as if they're going bowling, guys.
And that's a good moment for the squad, right? Like, you start every season, you have big goals. It usually starts with your conference championship and winning a national championship, maybe going to the playoffs. Everybody has different goals, but getting to a bowl is always sweet, and this team's eligible.
I know the coaches are really happy about this, the AD and the fans, because they know what it means for the program, right? You're going to get those 15 extra practices at the end of the year to help develop young talent. Looking ahead to next season, but that's next season. There's still a lot of football left to go this year. Let's just see how good of a bowl game they can get to.
That's going to do it for us as the season marches on. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football.